Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Revolting review. I'm Random Ross and today I review Screamboat. Yes, I'm back with another Revolting review. It seemed like ages since I posted something and I've been a bit behind on my movie goings and that because I've had a lot going on in my personal life, but I'm here now giving you a review on a horror movie that I watched very recently. So, Screamboat. Based on Steamboat Willie by Walt Disney and Lurks or something. Written and directed by Stephen Lamorte and starring David Howard Thornton, Art the Clown, Alison Pital, Amy Schmacker, Jesse Pausey, Kaylee Heyman, Jess Cove, and Jelath Conroy. So, as I said, this is a horror comedy slasher based on the Disney short Steamboat Willie. So, as you know, around last year, Steamboat Willie entered the public domain, meaning Disney no longer had exclusive rights over it, and people have jumped on the bandwagon ever since the whole craze with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. But they couldn't call it Mickey Mouse. They called the monster in it Steamboat Willie, or Willie. So, in this, the film, the premise is the story of a late night ferry ride in New York where a commuters and deckhands are all the usual passengers are attacked by a monstrous, mischievous mouse who is mean, tiny, and loves getting up to no good. Steamboat Willie's backstory that he is a pure and kind before mankind's neglect and left him corrupted and homicidal. So that's like the premise there and the plot. So what did I like about this? Well, I knew what I was getting myself in for when I was putting it on. I thought, yeah, I'm in for a crazy film. It's not going to be anything brilliant or a masterpiece. I'm just going in there with an open mind, knowing that this is going to be terrible, and it is. It's terrible on purpose, though, and they have a bit of fun with it, which I thought, yeah, see, I know what I'm letting myself into with these movies. This didn't take itself seriously. It didn't take itself seriously, and there was a lot of gore, a lot of practical effects, then there's some special visual effects. But of course, the one who saved the show, of course, was David Howard Thornton's performance as Willie. The makeup effects and that, he looks pretty ugly and nasty, and we get a backstory in there. Like I say, he was a failed experiment till a sea captain found him and made him his friend, and like I said, he got abandoned and then became corrupted and evil and started killing. And yeah, I liked David Howard Thornton in this as the Killer Mickey. His whistling that he did, whistling those classic tunes like we know from the original short, and him giggling and chuckling along and just disappearing into the makeup again, making this film salvageable, watchable. David Howard Thornton, I've loved his performances as Art the Clown in the Terrifier movies. He was great as the mean one in The Mean One, and he was fun in this. And you can tell as well, like in many of his roles, he's having the time of his life and he's having fun with it. And I feel that's what all the other cast were doing. Of course, all the other cast were unknown actors to me. Some of the acting was bad, some of the acting was poor, some of it was nuts, and everyone was a bit crazy and that, and yeah, just a bonkers ride on the steamboat. But like I say, this film doesn't take itself too seriously. It's about 102 minutes, so that's 1 hour and 42 minutes, so not a long movie. Doesn't go over the 2-hour mark, which I think's reasonable for that. But yeah, I wasn't disappointed with this movie because I knew what I was getting into. I knew what this were going into it, and yeah, and I'm glad I watched it. I knew I wanted to watch this just to see how awfully good it is going to be, and it was. It's not a brilliant film. You know, it was a bit slow building at the start, and there were some comedic moments, of course, you know, comedy horror. But every time I saw David Howard Thornton, I thought, yeah, he's very little and small in this. The camera effects they use, the angles and that they use to make him look small, and the prop sets behind him were poorly done, but I guess that was the point, really, of this movie, to make it look. And, you know, the way it said Screamboat, like it's saying Steamboat, Screamboat. And I believe at one point Rob Zombie was attached to this to direct. Or maybe Rob Zombie is still going through his own take on this horror Mickey Mouse. I don't know, but this one, I thought it is what it is. It was terrible, but like I say, in a good way, an entertaining way. Terrible on purpose. Do I recommend this? Yeah, if you like terrible movies and you want to just chill out, switch off to it, maybe even have something on the background, you know, chill with your friends, have some beers and pizzas and that and what have you. You know, just, you know, I recommend it then, but, you know, if you're in for a serious, straightforward movie and you want to be entertained for horror and shock value, then this film is it for you. I guess there is shock value in it, but just not the way you would expect. But, yeah, you know, like I say, David Howard Thornton is a gifted actor with his performance and his energy he brings to his roles. So yeah, what am I going to rate this one? I will probably give Screamboat, the mood that I'm in about it now and stuff, I'll give it 3 stabs out of 5. 3 stabs out of 5 for Screamboat. So yeah, it's not good, but it's not bad, but it's not perfect. You know, somewhere in between here and there. It was a lot better than Mickey's Mousetrap that came out last year. God, how trashy that was. But this one, I would say up to now, this is the better version of the horror Mickey movie. So yeah, there you go. There is my review on Screamboat. Have you seen it? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share with your friends and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and to hit that notification bell. I've been Random Ross and this has been a Revolting review on Screamboat. So, until next time, don't have nightmares.